So it's Tuesday, so we are going to have this class in English. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya Jaiva Devi Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamati Nastyapai Svabhadre Nityam Bhagavati Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Nashti Krishna Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanach Nanda Gopa Kumara Govinda Hare Krishna. Dhatu samanatasya Shadusha Chadevaki Vyasrajanvasu Devash Prahasyanamvacha Brahmatu Samantasya Shanti The word Bhagavatam comes Samanatasya because of being regretful. Shantarusha was relieved of anger. Cha also Devaki, Krishna's mother. Devaki, Vyasa, gave up. Vasudeva, Vasudeva also. Rahasya, smile. Tama, and Kamsa. Uvacha, said. In the past. Translation. When Devaki saw her brother actually wept while explaining on their events to the relief of all. Similarly, Vasudeva was also free from anger. Smiling, he spoke to Kamsa as follows. Purport by this is Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Devaki and Vasudeva, both highly elevated personalities, accepted the truth presented by Kamsa, that everything is ordained by providence. According to prophecy, Kamsa would be killed by the child of Devaki. Therefore, Vasudeva and Devaki saw that behind all these incidents was a great plan devised by Supreme Personality of God. Because of the Lord had already taken birth just like a human child and was staying in the custody of Yashoda, Everything was happening according to plan. And there was no need to continue their ill feeling towards Kamsa. Thus, they accepted Kamsa's words. Om Jalastu Yara Tasmai Sri Chaitanya स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा ददाति स्वयं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदं श्रीगुरो वैष्णवं श्रीरूपसागरं शतकरुणाधारितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं साधुतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण सर्वदत्ता श्रीशाखान्वितंश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा देववन्दे जगन्पते गोपेश गोपिका तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वामित्रे परमानंद वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे नमो विष्णु पदाय कृष्ण कृष्णाय भूतले श्रीमद्भगवद्गीता Hare Krishna. So before we start anything, I will pray with the lotus feet of all the Vaishnavas. Because I am not eligible to speak on this Vyasasana, but for the as a service, and it's the um, devotees we're trying to serve Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and the devotees of Srila Prabhupada. If I make any mistake, please forgive me. Hare Krishna. And please feel free to repeat. So, right now we are going through the fourth chapter of the 10th canto, wherein all the atrocities of King Kansa are explained by Sukha Goswami. And now, here, the chapter is very interesting. Why? Because Kamsa is killing all the sons of Devaki. And so, and since he is Kamsa, is killing all the babies of Devaki and Vasudeva, he is very much aware that he needs to kill the eighth child of Devaki and Vasudeva. But having said that, Kamsa finds that this child is not a boy, it's a girl. So he's confused. And but he knows that this yoga maya is very powerful. It can play any game with Kamsa. It can hide that child with this girl. So he finally, he was already overwhelmed with anger. So he went and tried to kill this girl child also. But the child, she immediately appears as Lourdes Durga, hmm, as and with on 8 hands and with all her beautifully ornamented, decorated with garlands and in all her forms, she presents her real self to Kamsa. Because asuras, these asuras are always, has a very soft heart towards, Lourdes Durga. So they always worship Lourdes Durga along with Shiva. So Kansa definitely got to realize that I am doing something wrong. I am trying to kill Lourdes Durga herself. Hmm? How can I do so? So he develops a regret feeling. And in that regret feeling, he remembers complete Bhagavad Gita. He remembers Bhagavad Gita. He remembers that I am not this body, I am soul. So he shares all his wisdom with Vasudeva. So now, interesting thing is, Kamsa also knows Bhagavad Gita. Vasudeva also knows Bhagavad Gita. What is the difference between Kamsa and Vasudeva? It's very visible that Kamsa only remembers Bhagavad Gita or an Asura only remembers Bhagavad Gita when he is in crisis. But in general, he will live a life to please his senses only. Only when an Asura comes in crisis, he will come to temple, he will attend Bhagavad Gita class, and he will try to remember the verses and he will try to find a solution. Some people say, whenever I am in crisis, I open Bhagavad Gita and I get a solution. Any of the shloka I think, I get a solution. The problem is obviously it's not a very systematic study. Although study of the sloka of Bhagavad Gita is good, but this is typically done by asuras. When they are in crisis, they go to Bhagavad Gita. And interestingly, Kansa had all this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. And he, shared it with Vasudeva that we are not this body, we are soul, we are just transmigrating to this whole process. The whole chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita is explained by Kamsa. Now, what is the problem? The problem is he doesn't remember, he didn't remember it earlier. And the good thing is, now he remembers it. The whole knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. And as soon as Kamsa remembers the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, his consciousness is elevated. What does that mean? Even the worst of the asuras, if they recite Bhagavad Gita and they read Bhagavad Gita, their consciousness will definitely be elevated. However worse they are. And here is Kamsa. Now, Kamsa, here in this verse, is repenting. Right? So Devaki saw her brother. So now Kamsa is repenting on whatever he has done. Only after remembering all the principles of Bhagavad Gita about transmigration of soul and the supreme will of the Lord. When he remembers it everything, he starts repenting in front of devotees of the Lord. But there are several other levels from this verse and the consequent verses. If you see, now Kansa is a good person right now. He is repenting and he's asking for forgiveness from Vasudeva. But in a similar way, we find that even when we were not associated with the movement, we used to go to temple when we had some desires to be fulfilled. We used to go to temple. And if we have done something wrong, something sinful, then we will go to temple and ask for forgiveness. Oh God, please forgive me. And sometimes we may also open Bhagavad Gita and read it. The same is happening with Kamsa, nothing different. But the point is, when we go back from the temple at our own places, we again get association of all the asuras around us, right? All the all the um, materialistic people around us. And as soon as we go outside and associate with those materialistic people, again we are caught in Maya. The same is going to happen with Kamsa also. Once we go forward in the story, we'll find that Asura goes in his, association of all his secretaries and ministers, and he tells all the story. And all the Asuras again brings Kamsa back to the original consciousness. What is that original consciousness? The consciousness of an Asura. Hmm? So therefore, association plays a vital role in a person. Even if we come to temple regularly, we must see what association we get once we go out of the temple. So that association must also be improved. And therefore, our devotees, are working very hard to make nice, association even outside temple. For congregation, our devotees, open up bhakti rickshaws and they give association to the devotees on a weekly basis, on a regular basis. They chant daily, they read Prabhupada books, and therefore they can save themselves from that materialistic consciousness. Or for youth, we have bases wherein devotees can live in the bases and protect themselves from the onslaught of the materialistic people and their association. So therefore, this is an important point. So association is very important that we have explored and we are going to explore it further in consequent process. Another important thing we understand from here is, let's see the perspective of Devaki and Vasudeva. There's a different perspective to them. Now, Devaki and Vasudeva, what they are doing is, Devaki and Vasudeva, they are devotees of the Lord. And as a devotee of the Lord, see, wonderful thing. Although Kamsa has been so many, six children of Devaki already, still see the devotee of the Lord, how they behave. Whenever they always hate sin. Devotee of the Lord always hates sin, but they never hate the sinner. Therefore, when Kans came and started repenting, the Sukdev Goswami mentions here that when Devaki saw her brother actually repent while explaining ordained events, she was relieved of all the anger. So Devaki was relieved of all the anger. She left all the anger behind and she started listening to Kamsa. See, this is how a devotee of Lord should be. Anybody who has done anything wrong with us, if they come and repent, a devotee, it's the obligation of devotee of the Lord to forgive. Such are the devotees. They are pure from the heart. They don't have any regrets in mind, right? So this is what something really understood. We should learn from the behavior of Devaki and Vasudha. So the next thing is is also one important point. Even the worst of the sinners, a devotee should forgive. Whatever sin they have done, devotee should forgive. And let the Lord decide what needs to be done and what needs to be avoided. So this is also a good thing that I've learned. And then one more important thing. How can a devotee keep himself so calm and pacified, even in the worst of the times? So, because Prabhupada here mentions, so because devotee sees everything as plan of the Lord. So they see everything as plan of the Lord. So if the Lord has a plan, why should we worry? Same way happened in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna tells Arjuna, okay, Arjuna, become my instrument. Nimitta matram bhav satyasam. So you become my instrument, and if I have done everything already, I've killed them all. You just become my instrument. If you don't become my instrument, I'll make somebody else as my instrument. Doesn't matter. So Arjuna said, okay, it's better I become your instrument. So I become your instrument, and whatever you say, my Lord, I will do. Yatha ichha. So, So Krishna, although he gives freedom, but the devotee chooses to be the servant. Hmm. So therefore, these are the five primary learnings we can get from this verse. And Prabhupada has a clear mention also regarding this. Therefore, Vasudeva and Devaki saw that behind all these incidents was a great plan devised by Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because Lord had already taken birth just like a human child and was in the safe custody of Yashoda. So they were completely, convinced with the Lord of, with the plan of Supreme Personality of God. So therefore, a devotee never gets agitated. Even though if they get agitated by Arjuna, they come in yoga. After hearing the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, they immediately come back to yoga, right? From the yoga. So that is important. Now, in consequent shlokas, we will find that how Vasudeva responds to Kansa. So Kansa gives the principles of Bhagavad Gita, and Vasudeva continues telling him, okay, yes, we know, because we have come in the influence of ignorance, we accept material body. And once we get material body, and then we get into all sorts of, three gunas, all the three gunas of material nature, which is Satguna, Rajoguna, and Tamoguna. Therefore, so this should happen to the devotees. That if a devotee suppose he is angry, he is very much angry out of something. But if somebody has, anybody, even the Sada, comes and recites some verses of Bhagavad Gita, then the devotee should immediately come back to their original consciousness. Even Kamsa came back to his original consciousness, to elevated consciousness, and he started repenting, then why a devotee of Lord cannot? Right? This is important. So therefore, and we should start doing Harikatha, or we should start doing Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Katha. Continue with, even in that time. Once a person, a devotee, Prabhupada was angry about something, very much angry. And the devotee saw Prabhupada, and the devotee said, Prabhupada, don't be angry, just chant and be happy. So, so Prabhupada immediately picked up his big bag and started chanting. And immediately, left everything behind and started chanting. God is back in his consciousness. Although Prabhupada is already transcendental. But this kind of pastime is left for us to understand that we need to be extra cautious. Whenever we fall from our consciousness, it is very dynamic. Every single moment we keep falling from our consciousness because of the three modes. And, it is only the mercy of the devotees, it's only mercy of the devotees that brings us back to the original consciousness, right? So whenever we have anything in our heart, any problem, any issue, we should go and discuss with our devotees, senior devotees, counselors. We take their guidance and come back to our original consciousness. Rather than keep building that whole thing within our heart, and one day finally burst. When we burst, it is only our fall down. There's nothing to do with anybody else, right? So therefore, important thing. So these are the few learnings we found. We find that these, even in the chapter atrocities of King Kamsa, there's so many beautiful learnings, right? So that's right. So we should once remember this thing that whenever we are in stress, we are into more material consciousness, we should remember, we should go back to the association of devotees, association of Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam, and don't get anything in our hearts. Right? Then we will be able to do it. So apart from this, today is a special day, Jagannath Yatra. So, today morning, I was telling that wherever you are, whichever city you are, we join the nearest Rath Yatra, and associate and pull the Lord's cart, right? And engage in the service of the Lord Jagannath. So we'll discuss for a few minutes. We can discuss about the Lord and His Yatra. So I found an English word from one of the lectures. The word was Juggernaut. English word Juggernaut. Right? It's in the dictionary. If you go to Oxford Dictionary, you'll find this word Juggernaut. Right. So this word is a very recent new word in English dictionary. Just few hundred years back it came. So the Britishers came to India and they went to Jagannath Puri during Rath Yatra. And they saw such a big cart of the Lord, three big carts of Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra. They found, oh my God, what is this? People say it's Jagannath. Jagannath is coming. So they found this word. From Jagannath, they made this word, English word, Juggernaut. It's something very heavy, something that comes with huge force. If you find the dictionary, you'll find that language. So even Britishers were amazed by the Lord and his carts during the Jagannath Puri Yatra. And they gave a new word in their English dictionary. Juggernaut. So that's interesting, right? So the Lord doesn't only keep surprising his devotee, but he keeps surprising the most fallen of people also, right? Anyways, so as today's Jagannath Yatra, you can all see that live on Jagannath Puri on internet also. But as you all are in Noida, definitely the evening our devotees have worked out and they are planning a beautiful mini Jagannath Yatra. So we'll take the lords out uh, for with Harinam and pull this down. So you all are humbly requested to join this yatra. I think this has already circulated in social media pages also. So, so usually when the Lord is taken out, it is actually a representation of Krishna. Krishna, when he was in Kurukshetra, and he is going to all the Vrajvasis, all the Vrindavan denizens are taking Krishna and pulling Krishna with all their love and their hearts, Krishna back to Vrindavan. And the temple Gundicha, temple which is very close to Jagannath, you know, to the temple, the original Lord's temple, is actually considered as Vrindavan. And so the Vrindavan Vasi pull the Lord and take him to Vrindavan. Because Krishna, you can always read in this Brahma Madhva Gaudiya, there is a beautiful story of Krishna crying every night, every morning. Mother Rohini will see, and all other mothers, Krishna's mothers, they will see that Krishna's bed will always be wet. Why? Because in Dwarka, every night Krishna will be crying. When he's sleeping, he's crying. Remembering his Vrindavan friends and the dancers, the gopis, and Mother Yashoda, and his father Nanda, Nand Maharaj. So he will remember them all and he will keep crying. And every morning they will find that his bed is completely wet out of his, uh, what we say, huh? Tears. Yes. So these tears, so much Krishna will cry. And even when Krishna comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he will also cry. And water will be everywhere, split everywhere. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he's Krishna himself, he will also cry in the same mood of separation. So this is an important thing. So Krishna is very much pleased. Why? Because he's crying for Vrindavan every day, every night. And when he's being pulled towards Vrindavan by all his Vrindavan devotees, so Krishna is very much pleased. And he opens his arms to the devotees to embrace them. So therefore, it is very important that to for the mercy of the Lord, we should also, pull the chariot of the Lord. and take and receive all the mercy Jagannath is, uh, showering. So in Puri, usually there are three chariots. So there is one big chariot, which is usually yellow colored chariot, uh, and Lord Narasimha is the presiding deity of the chariot, and that's the chariot wherein Lord Jagannath sits. Uh, and then there is another chariot which is blue colored chariot. So obviously blue color is for Baldeva. So Baldeva sits there, and then there is a black colored chariot, which on which the sister Subhadra is sitting. And and before this yatra moves from Jagannath Puri temple to Gundicha temple, Sudarshan also comes and joins. So Sudarshan is also kept with Subhadra in her chariot. And that's how, and then devotees with huge drums and conch shells and so much of celebrations and festivities, they start moving the chariot of Krishna towards Gundicha temple. And that is how this yatra begins. And throughout the yatra goes, devotees will take darsans of Jagannath. And in Jagannath Puri temple, foreign devotees are not allowed. Anyone who is a foreigner is not allowed in the temple. But this is the time of the year wherein any person from any foreign country or land can actually come and take darshans of Jagannath. Jagannath gives darshan to every person. This is the time. And when Jagannath goes across, so the king, there's a um, usually there is a process wherein the king of that place will, you know, clean the place, and he will keep, cleaning the road, and then Jagannath will keep moving forward. So devotees also do this as a service. So it's always nice and recommended that we also take up some road, and we start cleaning the road from where Jagannath will be moving. So all roads should be very clean before Jagannath's chariot move. So even if we don't, if we are not able to pull, we should at least take the broom in our hand and start cleaning the road. That is also a very nice custom we follow. And even today, the king will first do this cleaning service, and then people will follow. That's another beautiful society. And then gradually, Krishna is leaving his palace, right? His Jagannath Puri palace, and he is going outside. But now, what about Krishna's wives, all his wives, right? So these wives will be left behind, because in Vrindavan, Lakshmi is not allowed. Lakshmi is not permitted. So Krishna, he goes outside with his brother and sister, but he doesn't take his wives along. So the wives will become angry, literally angry. So much so that they will go behind Krishna and call him and come back. But Krishna will stay in Vrindavan. And in Vrindavan, the schedule is not like that. When it's Krishna, when he is in Puri temple with all his, Ashwarya. So, with all his opulences, Krishna is 24/7. Krishna is, open. Jagannath is, ready to give darshans, right? And he's so busy. I mean, he's super busy there. But when he comes to Vrindavan, he will have a relaxed, schedule. He will not have to give so many darshans. He will sit there nicely and have some good time. And even in this time, Lakshmi comes, but Lakshmi is not given darshans of Jagannath. So Lakshmi becomes even more, furious. And although she is being served nice prasad, delicious food of Vrindavan, but she's not allowed to meet Jagannath. And so she leaves back. And Jagannath stays there for a while, and then finally he returns. When Jagannath returns back to his palace. So in that time, Lakshmi will not allow, because she is already super angry. So Lakshmi will not allow Jagannath to enter. So Jagannath will have to, give some bribe to the maid servants of the temple, and then the maid servants will give Jagannath a backdoor entry, and then he will be placed in his original place. That's how the custom is. It's a beautiful custom. It also represents that a married person should keep their wives happy. Otherwise, the wives will not even leave the Lord himself. Even he will be punished for what he has done. So therefore, anyways, it's a lighter side of lives. So uh, Jagannath comes back, and then the doors are closed by Lakshmi, and finally, after the bride, he gets in, and he, again starts giving darshan from his original opulent temple of Jagannath. So that's how this yatra begins, and that's how you speak take it forward. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally will, when he goes there, he will always personally lead the yatra with kirtans. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will not just be there as one Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He will expand himself in so many Mahaprabhus, and he will lead all the processions, and the devotees will follow him and in ecstasy. And even we see this custom is going on so nicely. Even in lockdown period, we see the government there made special provision to ensure that Jagannath Rath Yatra doesn't stop. It goes on. Although there was no devotee allowed, all the policemen only carried out that yatra. This custom is such close to the hearts of people. Even the administration has to be very sensitive about it. And we remember Srila Prabhupada himself, when he was a child, he will also uh, take uh, um, take forward this Jagannath Rath Yatra. So once Srila Prabhupada was a child, he asked his father, "Hey, I also want to take Jagannath Rath Yatra." So his father said, "All right, if you want to do so, let it be." And then he helped him make a small rath and with small wheels. And all the children came there, and all the neighbors came out, and they started decorating and started contributing to that yatra. And then little Jagannath or this Subhadra were being placed into that small car. And then Srila Prabhupada started pulling it along with all his friends of childhood, and then they took that Rath Yatra. So all the devotees, especially in around Puri and in Odisha, they usually take their Jagannaths also out along with this uh, Rath Yatra. So it's a beautiful custom, and it now in these times, these Rath Yatras are happening everywhere on the planet. Every single country, these Rath Yatras are happening. All credit goes to Srila Prabhupada. SD1 from Srila Prabhupada. So this Rath Yatra is happening in all the countries, in all the major cities of the planet. You start from New York to San Francisco, you go to Japan, you go to, even to, Russia, even in Moscow, or probably from London to, any place in Europe, any major city in Europe, you go and you'll find Rath Yatras happening out there. So, such is the glory of Lord Jagannath. He is the Lord of the universe. So, Srila Prabhupada, who was the enabled pure devotee of the Lord, who actually ensured and started yatras, elsewhere outside India. And now these yatras are happening everywhere. So, even even Guru Maharaj was telling this morning how many yatras are happening in so many different states. ISKCON yatras are happening in so many, even in Maharashtra and in Gujarat. So therefore, Even in Noida, devotees are taking up this yatra. So let's pull the Lord Jagannath together with all our might and please the Lord and take His mercy. Right? So this was the session here. Thank you so much for your time. Granthara Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki, Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki. If any devotee wants to add something over this, I really don't know much, but I just shared a little bit. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki. There's no difference. Our Shastra say God, say Krishna, say Jagannath. All three are same. The Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us the right path of how to do it. Jagannath is giving out the person, but how to take that person, Chaitanya. That's the difference. Does that make sense? So therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu obviously, from our perspective, is more merciful because he's telling us how to get that person. People didn't know that. Now after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, people know how to get that person. So we can, in the footprints of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we can follow the path and take the person. Right? So Jagannath will be our person, but we don't have a plan. We don't have a way of get that. Receive that. So that's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is. Thanks.